Okay, first day of pads, hot day today, so we got some work done out here, and first thing we got to do is learn to carry our pads again. I don't think there's any question about that, but it's a starting point. So we're repping everybody out here, so, ones, twos, threes, our frosh, but we got good numbers, and, we're moving forward, so I'll take some questions.
How conscious are you of the heat, and how do you try to combat it?
Well, we make sure we're drinking it, but we're conscious of it, but at the same time, we're repping so many different guys that they're not getting, 10, 12 reps at a time. So they should be able to cool off. And, as part of it, we got great trainers. And Sally Nogle and her staff does a great job. And so not had problems with it thus far.
Mark, trying to work in the freshmen, what are the challenges of that in terms of, because they haven't been through this, obviously?
Yeah. Well, I think the challenge for every freshman is to play hard every single play, because they can play well at the point of attack, or they can play well when the ball's coming to them, but from a pursuit angle on defense, or doing the little things on offense, or playing through the whistle, those are the most difficult things on a consistent basis. But that's the case every year when you get freshmen. There are certain players that can play early. Skill position players usually can play faster than offensive and defensive linemen, but nevertheless, that you have those opportunities, and it's their opportunities out here as we move through summer camp to learn that trade and to be able to put that principle into effect.
What have you seen on the graduate transfers, Kevin Williams and Gabe?
Kevin, is out here, was in Shells today, so because he was out for one day, so he had to, make that change the Shells. So, but explosive, powerful. He's got good technique. I think he's going to play for us. I was impressed with him. Gabe, a little too early to see, but looks athletic. Again, we've got numbers, so we've got to get guys reps. So, again, really until we get to Saturday and then see how they play in game situations as best we can. I guess you're going to wait and see.
Mark, Donnie Corley and Cam Chambers were here in the spring. Are you seeing that benefit early here for those guys that they had that time?
Yeah, a lot of retention. Those guys make plays. I think they've had a good camp thus far. But all four of those freshman wide receivers are talented guys. You can see that.
Any place besides wide receiver you see an opportunity for a true freshman to get on the field this year?
Too early to tell because it's consistency. Panasukas has done some good things, so far, but it's all about opportunity too. Who's coming back and what are the numbers like at that particular position. And certainly at wide receiver, we lost some guys, and so those guys have a little bit more of an opportunity than, let's say, at linebacker. But we've got good players, good freshman class. Yep.
DeWeaver's progress since the spring game?
The progress?
Progress, yeah.
Too early to tell because the spring game is at the end of spring, and that sort of culminates the end of all the practices, and this is the first practice in pads, so a little hard to tell that. But our guys come to work, and they're working hard. So, and like I said, we have numbers out here, so we've been able to get a lot of teamwork done.
Mark, we talked before camp about Geiger excessive work this spring, not in a good way excessive, with his leg. Are you seeing that demonstrated here early in camp?
Yeah, and we've got 4 kickers, so we'll kick every day and go to one day to the other and give those guys a day off in between. So, but we got 4 kickers, and I've sort of been impressed with all of them. But Geiger's kicked well in the time that he's had the opportunities. Again, we're in our 5th practice, so he's kicked a couple times.
Mark, do you see an increased energy when they throw the shells on, or is the 5 days of doing this kind of counterbalance that?
Well, I mean, the reality of everything is when you get to the 5th day, it feels like they've been here for 3 weeks,
right,
and you're in your first day of pads. But that's a part of this process, because our practices are long, and we try and get a lot of different things done in those practices, and they're really never standing still. There's not a lot of walkthroughs. It's a lot of drill repetition and then group work, and then taking it to pass scale or inside drill, and then team. So they get a lot of work, and then there's film and different things going on outside of the practice field. So it's a process, and that's the best I can say.
Mark, having multiple guys from the Chicago area, you have King, you have Allen, the fact those guys know each other and stuff, does that help them acclimate?
Yeah, I think every transition, when you know people a little bit, it's easier to transition as a group than individually. But again, part of the process. And these guys have been here since July, so they know everybody already. And our players have always been very accepting of everybody.
Tristan Jackson's a guy that Terry Samuels has never seen pick up the offense the way he has. What have you seen out of Tristan?
Tristan's doing a nice job. You know, reminds me a lot of Keyshawn Martin, who Keyshawn played for us as a true freshman. But I think it's because he was a quarterback. You know, Coach Bellamy down there did a nice job with him. But I also think just the position he played, and he played some wide out, but he had to know a lot of pass concepts and had to have a pretty good feeling for an overall offense. And I think that helps a young player when they transition to college.
Mark, off the wall, do you have any time to watch the Olympics? Do you keep caught up?
Yeah, I was watching the Olympics the other day.
you
Yeah, I was
have a-
watching swimming.
Do you have a favorite event? Is it swimming?
No, the favorite event would probably be track and field.
Really?
I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah.
But I like swimming. Not that I don't like swimming, for all the swimmers out there. I like swimming.
You do make time to watch, huh?
Well, I sort of watch it maybe at lunch
Yeah.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, you know, about 10:30 or so, I put it on for a minute or so. But I think that they've done a great job, you know. I think the USA has been very well represented so far in the Olympics.
What are you most pleasantly pleased with this camp? I mean, you're only 5 days in. I understand that, but
Yeah.
What's positive?
Well, I think you know, for us, it's always been about, you know, how you're doing things. Do they retain how we do the process? Do they retain offenses and defenses? But not only that, is how to get from drill to drill. Do they retain the ability to move in and out of different situations on the field? And we're trying to work them all. You know, we worked goal line today. We worked third down today. We worked third and short today. We worked, you know, base stuff today. So we're trying to hit it all. We're 2 minute on the first day of camp. You know, that's unusual. But our players have a good grasp of things, and we force the issue with them, and that's how we've been able to do it here.
You mentioned Panasiuk
Last
earlier.
one.
What did you like? What's Panasiuk showing so far?
You know, he's a powerful guy. You know, he can lock you out, and you know, it's too early to tell. But I think our defensive front, our young players, and in our defensive front look impressive. You know, they're stature-wise, they're very impressive, and they work. And so when you work and you have those God-given abilities, then you know usually good things follow.
All right, guys.
Thank